Only a few months left before NBA training camp tips off, and our New York Post basketball writer, reporter, the man does it all. Zach Braziller has an article out breaking down the new NBA landscape with his power rankings. The Post's power rankings, Zach. I hope you're ready, because after this video, you're going to have a lot of happy and ticked off fan bases in your comments. You ready to go, my man?
Let's go.
All right. So before we even go in depth on your top 8 teams, how'd you come up with the rankings?
You know, it's a combination of what we've seen from teams in the last year, what they've done in the offseason, you know, and also kind of looking ahead to, you know, do they have guys who are improving and, you know, and are projected. I mean, it's kind of, you know, it's probably, I guess those 3 factors really are how I came up with the rankings.
All right, so now we've got the grading scale out of the way. Let's get into this list. You've got some teams like the Heat, the Lakers, the Warriors, teams that we've known about for a long time, but they're not even cracking the top 8. So what are the common factors for some of these teams that are keeping them out of your top 8 rankings?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the Heat, the Lakers, and the Warriors. To me, they're all aging teams. You know, they're all teams that you know, can still be factors, but they all really got worse or didn't get better, you know, this offseason. I mean, you look at the Lakers and, I mean, what have they done? They hired J.J. Redick. They drafted Dalton Knecht and Bronny James. You know, they missed on basically all their top targets. The Warriors trade Klay Thompson. The Heat have done nothing except really lose Caleb Martin. You know, the Heat to me are a team. You know, Jimmy Butler's gonna be 35 by next spring. I mean, is he still a spring closer? That's, you know, something that I'm really not quite sure of. To me, those are 3 teams that are kind of going in the wrong direction at this point.
You're not lying when you say there's a new NBA landscape. The teams of yesterday are staying in yesterday. Let's go through your 8 through 4, because you got Milwaukee at 8, Dallas, Minnesota, and Philly down the 4. How'd you come up with that?
You know, it's really, you know, once you get to this point, you know, it's kind of, you know, it's really tough to differentiate. You know, the Bucks, to me, are still a team that has issues defending the perimeter. That's kind of what kept, you know, them from being higher. You know, Dallas, we'll see what Klay Thompson can do at his age. You know, he had his lowest scoring output since his second year in the league this past season. I know they think he can really make a difference, prevent teams from doubling Kyrie and Luka as much. Still not so. I think losing Derrick Jones Jr., their best perimeter defender, will hurt Dallas. I love what Philly did this offseason. I still don't quite trust them. Health is obviously a major issue with Embiid and Paul George. Even though George played 74 games last year, he didn't play in the playoffs. We all know Embiid breaks down frequently. So, you know, it's obviously tough when you get to around top 5 or top 6, but that's really the way I saw it with those teams.
All right, let's round this thing out. Your top-ranked teams, 4-1, are the Knicks, the Nuggets, the Thunder, and, of course, the Boston Celtics. Some could argue that the Knicks should be higher or lower. What made you put them at 4?
I get they have a hole at center, you know, behind Mitchell Robinson. I really like, you know, when you look at OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, it's a wing league, and the Knicks now have 2 of the best two-way wings in the sport. Obviously, Jalen Brunson has emerged as a big-time star. Getting Julius Randle back will help. I mean, the Knicks are loaded. Really love what they've done this offseason. They obviously still need another center, but really, really like what they've done. then look, you get the Nuggets. Nikola Jokic is still as good as any player in the league. I know they lost in the second round, but hard not to still really like Denver, even though losing Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is a major loss. And we got the Thunder, who, were very good last year, and they got even better. Adding Isaiah Hartenstein, Alex Russo, and then obviously the Celtics, who returned their entire team. They're the best team in the league. I don't think there's any question about that. They're the heavy favorite going into next year. Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Drew Holiday, Derek White. There's a lot to like about the Celtics.
Really quick, did the Knicks do enough this offseason to challenge the Boston Celtics for the top team in the Eastern Conference?
They still need another big.
Okay.
There's Mitchell Robinson is an impactful player, but he gets hurt a ton. They still need another center. Look, I do think the Knicks match up much better with Celtics than they did with Bridges and Anunoby. Would have loved to see the Knicks healthy against the Celtics last year. But to me, that it's still a major. With all you really have is Mitchell Robinson at center. We all know how often he gets hurt. That's a big question with the Knicks. That center spot, they need to go find another guy there, most likely via trade to kind of shore up that spot on the roster.
Well, luckily, Leon Rose used a Groupon to sign Jalen Brunson to that that team-friendly deal, because that'll free up some money to go get a big. Zach Braziller, thanks for hopping on with us, my man.
My pleasure.